Yo, salute everybody. Happy 2025. It's History of the Future podcast. Just day one of the year. I'm excited. I know I fell off the wagon last year. I did a few episodes, but it was a bitch to kind of edit all this stuff. But now I'm on a good track today. So, look forward to seeing a lot more content coming your way from ADP Studios. I'm happy to have the homies, the family with me. If I can, I introduce my boy to my right, Issa. Issa, I know you've seen him. He probably been on every first episode of any pod that I ever did and stopped, for real. Somehow he's just always in town at the time I'm doing the first episode again, you feel me? But Issa, we go way back, college. He's a mental health advocate, serial entrepreneur, was in the NFL, did his thing, you know what I'm saying? I've seen him run through a man's soul before. Crazy, you feel me? So, salute East. I got my boy Jameel. We go back. We used to work out at the gym together. You feel me? When you're in the gym, you don't really talk too much to nobody. And it's just one day you're like, yo, what up? Yo, you good? And then you find out somebody really cool. And then, as time progressed, I realized, I'm going to work. We work at the same building. You know what I'm saying? So it was mad crazy. So it was just crazy. He ended a super music dude, super in tune with the culture. If I'm not mistaken, you're a professor as well in some regards. You know what I'm saying? So super knowledgeable. To my left, you know what I'm saying? I got the one and only Lawrence. You feel me? We go way, way back. You know what I'm saying? This is my actual blood cousin. You know what I'm saying? So he's super smart. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the marketer / businessman / You said what?
Rain Man.
So you gotta talk on the mic though.
Rain Man. I dabble in all kinds of ventures, man. I know a little bit about everything.
That's a fact. You just came out with a book not too long ago.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You got a nice little book. He got some stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about it, so I ain't gonna necessarily bring it up. But hopefully it comes up in conversation.
We talk about it.
Word. All right. Well, yeah. So History of the Future podcast, episode 1 again in 2025. All right, man. I'm happy. How y'all feel about the new year?
I'm excited, man. I feel like it's a new energy that I feel like it's going to turn into something pretty good, honestly. It looks good. I feel like it's an empowering time right now. So I'm looking forward to just, pushing. Yeah, man, I'm ready to get outside, bro. I feel like 2024 was like a building year, right? Like, with work, moving to Atlanta, right, getting settled. 2025, I'm trying to. I got 3 Fs. I thought of my 3 Fs for this year. It's gonna be faith and family. There's gonna be self-fulfillment, and it's gonna be fitness, right? Because when I think of fitness, it's not just LA fitness, right? I'm trying to get into yoga, right? Other streams of fitness, right? Get outside, a little rock climbing. So those are my 3 Fs when I think of 2025. Hopefully, I'll be able to see them through.
Fire.
No, I mean my 2024 was a hell of a run. Had some things. God made some decisions for me, and I embraced them. I traveled a lot, and I explored new territories. Went overseas to Panama, found a place I love, and new destinations. So I'm kind of just preparing myself to basically leave the States at this point. You feel me? That's kind of my destination right now. So I'm excited, man. It's a new horizon. Yeah, for sure.
Nah, it's lit. Definitely lit. It's a lot going on. So going into 2025, let me backtrack. 2024 came to a close, right? What's something that surprised you in 2024 that you didn't think you would expect? I know it's kind of hard to be surprised nowadays because we went through the pandemic. We done been through some wild times, you know what I'm saying? Is there anything in 2024 that kind of stood out to y'all? Hold up, before you answer. Hold up 1 second.
I kind of was able to see they come to fruition a little bit more. I kind of got I feel like people not necessarily reveal themselves. The energy that being in the world, it's been coming back around me. And it's if you have peace within, most of the people I find are pretty happy. You know what I mean? But the people that are going through a storm and saying it's terrible time, and they the awful are the one that's really struggling a lot. And I feel like this year but the first time I really got to see, like, damn, like 1 + 1 does equal 2. But you kind of manifest it, you speak about it, you make it happen, and then it becomes the reality. And I feel like it just kind of hit home to the max this year. It was just like the way you think and the peace within, and or how you feel within is like get you what you get in life.
You got like a personal example of that? Like,
I mean, it's a couple, but it's a lot of like it's personal shit, like crazy. It's not my personal.
Yeah,
if it was my information, I would say it, but it's like
got you.
somebody that I was like around. I mean, I could speak about it, like somebody that I was cool with, like I knew that they father committed suicide. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of little factors behind it and underneath it, and I think that like when that happened, it kind of just like made me remember all the things that he was saying, and that kind of like made it make sense that he was doing that. And you kind of think, nah, he kind of have some hope in him. Like he's saying it's bad, but like we're there for him. We calling him, making sure he's good. We trying to like be there supportive. And then when it comes down to it, it was like, damn, like it was just a real mindset that he was in that, he couldn't change, and it was just really like, it was like crazy to see. It was crazy to see, and it was just like kind of just opened up a way of seeing the world in a different light. So, I think that that's was something that really like stood out to me and shit.
It's like, you never know.
Yeah.
You created some sort of wisdom, like, you advanced, you got a new experience, I don't know, from your friend or whatever. And I hope everything's cool, you know what I'm saying? But those learning experience, you gain a new insight on that, basically.
Yeah. Now it was deep, so it just gave me like, sometimes things hit in your brain, but don't like hit your heart. And now it kind of like really resonates fully through my body, like, damn, like, so, it was just it was an eye-opening year about just being grateful for peace. It's like wishing people could find peace on.
Yeah, bro. It's hectic, man. Like, so you saying stuff be going on in folks' life, right? You never know what's going on. Like, yo, like, how you doing, bro? Like, dude may say, yeah, but you just don't know. He just don't really want to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So when your boy, like, Pops committed suicide, it's great that he was able to open up to you, right? Because so many brothers, you'll be like, yo, how you, bro? I'm like, man, I'm living, man. But really, like, they got struggled, So it's good to have folks in your corner that you can say, yo, this going on, this going on, this going on. So you could check up on them, right? Sure. So that's a blessing that he got y'all in the corner like that, right? Because everybody don't got that, folks.
And that shit is crazy, too, because I feel like women usually have that. You know what I'm saying? It's like more commonplace for women to, check in with each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's not seen as you stepping outside of yourself to do it. But for us, that should be hard. But I don't even know shit I be going on. I'm like, man, whatever. It is what it is.
Because you don't want to burden nobody.
Yeah,
right. That's what it is.
And it's man thing. It's like I got it. I don't want people to feel like I need something. I'm weak enough to need help. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we think that being vulnerable and having these parts of us out here being exposed, we think that if somebody has something up on us, then they're gonna fuck us over. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he know I need help, so he got that power. And if he ever uses it against me, now I'm vulnerable. You know what I mean? So I think it's tough for us to, even if we get it mentally and everything, we need to reach out. It's always something that holds us back in our manliest pride to say, nah, I can't I'm a man. I'm supposed to have it all figured out. Like, I'm supposed to be a root king of my universe and be able to handle everything. I can't say that I need help,
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. So my grandfather passed like 2 weeks ago, right? So thanks, bro. To that same space, like, people was asking me how I was doing. I stopped saying I was doing all right. I was like, yo, this is what's really going on, right? But I was fortunate enough to speak at his funeral. And then my uncle was fortunate enough to speak at his funeral. But we didn't read each other's speeches, right? We said the same thing about this man. We was like, yo, he never talked, because we were both raised by him. It was like, yo, he never talked in the house, right? Like, he only gave instruction, right? It was the household where, like, if you were a man, you were a man, right? Like, I don't want to hear how your day went. Go in there and do the work. Go out there and do the chores, right? And that's what, like, that's how we raised. The lot of us, you know what I'm saying? Like, not by no rule book, just that's how Black men were raised, Yeah,
I could definitely see that. And it's crazy because, like, I feel like even, my parents West Indian, and looking at my pops, like, I remember being a kid, and I used to think my pops was mean, you feel me, as a kid. Like, they were just mad stern. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom was, like, bubbly, like, you laughing and joking. My dad just say what it is and keep it pushing. I didn't understand until I became a man that I kind of understood, his perspective.
Mhm.
And as he has gotten older, you feel me? Like I think his approach changed as well. Like his
Soften up a little bit.
softened up a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of like being vulnerable, telling you stuff. You feel me? Like, one thing I'm proud about in 2024. The end of the year, I went on a cruise with my parents.
Nice.
I never went with both my parents, never in my life. You feel me? So we were there doing stuff. They never been on a cruise. I never been on a cruise.
That shit look beautiful, bro.
Yeah,
I can't cry. It was great to see.
I was trying to keep it low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my pops was just like, man, like, yo, that was like, that meant a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, like little stuff like that, it really make a difference. You know what I'm saying? So
You think, because I remember that. I used to always, Uncle Callis was the one that, it was surprising to see him smile sometimes, or like even laugh, you know what I'm saying? And I know most times when he was really enjoying himself, he was like with his boys or drinking or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've noticed over the years he's definitely softened up a lot. I think it's because we out of the system a little bit, and then the younger kids are coming up, so you got to be softer with them.
Yeah,
they had to be assholes with us. Let's be real, because we had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think in my head, as I've grown, especially in relations and and the people around you, being almost seeming like nothing's ever wrong projects almost like a sense of strength. And like you want to seem like the rock when everything's around you going crazy, shifting. You want to be the one that's like that's solid, so people can rely on. Even if you wasn't even really that, you want to look like that. That's what in my head I thought. Well, I've come to realize that may have been what he was doing. Because I mean, let's be real, shit is hard, bro. For anybody, everybody goes through up and down. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's ever, smooth. So I can only imagine what he's gone through, what other people gone through, and he still got it. Still look strong. And I would say that's like a man's birth, because you can't get away with that as a female. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, shit. I didn't want to start out like Teen Summit. We started out like Teen Summit. Fuck it. Like, yo, it is what it is. We going where we gotta go. All right. Question: is there anything in particular in 2025 y'all want to do? I know you said you got the 3 Fs. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything particular that y'all got on y'all vision board or to-do list or whatever y'all call it? You know what I'm saying?
One, I want to run a marathon.
Really?
Ooh,
I hate it.
Let's
I'm
go.
a sprinter, like, 40 yards max. That's it. That's all I need. And now I'm trying to get into running, and I know that's like the complete opposite of what I would want to do. So like me working to get there, I think it would be good to just learn about myself through that process. Who I am outside. So like I've been running like a mile a day, 2 miles, trying to like 26 and like
run that 5.
Exactly.
Just run 5.
Yeah,
You can do it.
Yeah,
It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
That's why like my goal is to get to a whole like marathon by like September, October.
You could do that shit.
You go at your own.
I ran a half in like 3
I kind
months.
of want to run like where I'm kind of like moving in a sense, so I could challenge myself.
Oh, you're gonna feel like nice.
I want to.
Oh, see, that's different. That's a different type of run.
I
I want to finish.
Yeah, that was me. I just wanted to finish. I did the half. I was like, I did it. Fuck it. But
I want
that's
to
all.
start just running and get in shape like that. I never been in that type of shape. I've been like lifting, sprint shape, not like long distance shape.
When your thoughts, you can think all. That shit's crazy.
How your leg, bro? Your legs ready for that?
I don't know. I'm just
We about to figure it out.
I swear to God, that shit is all mental. I remember I ran the Brooklyn half a couple years ago, and running in New York is different because New York has a lot of characters. You feel me? So like, it's things that I would go run on my own. Like you start running, you start with your 2 miles and 3, and you work up 6, 7, then you probably get up to like 10, 11. You're like, all right, I'm ready for the 13 joint. But like when I was preparing before I ran, every time I smoked, you feel me? So it was just part of my routine. And the day of the race, I'm getting dumb high in my partial. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know like there's a big time between when you get there and when you run. So by the time I got to the starting line to run, I was sober. So it was the first time me running. Yeah, like clear-minded ever. So that threw me off. And then New York also like just got characters, bro. Like you could see anything running. Like so I'm running, I'm in like mile 1 or 2. I'm in mile 2. I see this dude running with sandals on,
Chill.
moving. Like I swear, I'm like, yo. And so in your head is fucking you up because you're like, yo, bro, I'm just trying to just keep pace. His toes is out. You can see his toes. Like Willie had a headband, everything, and he was moving. So that threw me off too. So it was like the mental part of like running next to people and people like, you know, around you. And they, you know, if you run around them, you're wasting energy and it kind of like slow your pace down. Those are the things I would say, like mentally, like you got to prepare. Because you're going to get nice on your own.
Yeah, because you got the wide open road.
Yo.
Now when you got all these people with you.
Yes, yeah, you got to just be kind of patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to challenge myself. Like, yeah, I got to do some shit that I never done before. But I feel like,
where you think you want to run it?
I don't know. I got to research.
Right? But that's also a thing. They got that, what, the Peachtree Road Race?
Yeah.
And folks like, yo, those hills,
That's
crazy.
That's funny.
They said New York was hard. Like, they said New York is crazy. They start on the grid, so you start on the incline. So you running, like, you start up the whip on the incline. You're like,
yeah, that should have just fucked me up. Yeah, that running through boroughs. Like, yo, in Queens, Rick, like, I'm
to the Bronx. Like, that shit crazy.
Hold on, so the New York race take you through all the boroughs?
All the boroughs.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Wow.
My uncle used to do that every year, bro. Every single year he did New York marathon.
I think I used to be like, you know, by the time that he did everyone in Tokyo.
And that's the way to do it. I got a homie. That's how him and his wife travel. They travel for a marathon, right? Wow. So they was like, yo, they went to Egypt and did a marathon around the pyramids.
Desert.
You feel me? Yeah.
I can't even imagine that shit.
Yeah. They have a lot of events too around it. Like, like the running clubs, the sneaking, have stuff out there. So it's like big on networking too. But it's like big events.
Run clubs is definitely.
They got a run club right there on Lennox.
Say word, you did?
I ran with them once. Worst decision ever.
Say word.
It was just bad because I wasn't in the position. I shouldn't have been running like that. My leg was numb as hell, bro.
You squatted 375 the day before.
I feel like I had gangrene or diabetes or some shit. But, you know, it is what it is. What about you, Warren? What you got time to 2025, bro? What you looking to do?
Man, I'm looking to, like I mentioned, like, you know, new horizons. I'm moving out to Panama in a couple months.
Nice.
You know, so that's a big one. And just like learn how I could, you know, learn a new environment, man. Working on my Spanish now. I don't know. I know a little bit, but I don't, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a 3. You know what I mean? But you know, obviously you got to be there to really soak it in and stuff, man. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm on. Just like, you know, I've been here I was born overseas. I was born in Ghana. I'm Ghanaian in St. Lucia, and most of my upbringing has been in the States between Connecticut, New York, etc. So really Black environment, you know, that's what I know. Music, culture, everything. You know, but I've felt myself in my early adulthood up to now, like the longing to see something different. I don't know. I remember back when I was a G, when I was like super little, even before I got to the States, you know, there was a period where people didn't even lock their doors. You know what I'm saying? Every older gentleman was your uncle. Your auntie. They used to just make food for you. They ain't know you. That, you know, that whole vibe. You know, outside of my family, you don't really see you see a whole lot of that. Yeah, the community is like, I have it was embedded in me super early. So I was like kind of subconsciously looking for that. So I think that's kind of what I'm gravitating to, man. Just a new lifestyle.
So you think you're gonna find it in Panama?
I mean, from what I was out there for a month and some change. I visited a couple other places. From what I feel and what the culture that I'm seeing out there is closer.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And I can establish myself there a little bit more. So, you know, why not? You know what I mean? Let's see what happens. That's kind of
visa.
You tell them the finesse.
Well, you don't necessarily need a visa. You could be out there, I think, for max about 6 months about 6 months, and you have to leave for about 3 days, and then just come back. And that's how people do it. So that's you can get the visa, but it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I'm eligible for like a nomad visa because I work from my computer, so I could do that. But I think it only lasts like 2 years, and you gotta reapply and all that shit. It's not worth it, man. Just leave every 3 days.
True.
That's cool with me. I go across the border. I got family in Ecuador or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of my plan. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. I respect you for going to Panama because like everybody's like Colombia. You know what I'm saying?
Medellin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Hey, if you've been there, shout out to my boy Jeff. You know what I'm saying? He was there for a little bit, showed me around. It was a great time. But the Costa Rica gets thrown around. Brazil. People living in Brazil. I think we just visiting.
Folks is.
They gone?
I remember a cat went for the Olympics. He
Never came back.
Yeah, seen the boy since.
Yeah, okay. Is he okay? You know what I'm saying?
He's
great.
Okay, he's great, my man. Yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's different.
I like Panama, the Panama Canal. I know that shit's been on the news lately. Yeah. There's a lot of business opportunities.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. Part of my reasonings, there's 2 business ventures I'm actually, engaging out there. So I'm like, I'd rather be out there doing it, invest out there, do what I got to do, bring some family out there. I'm gonna take this brother out there.
I'm going. That's a fact.
And, that's the motion right now.
But to your point, right? You said, I think the first question was like, yo, what's something that shocked you in 2024? So I moved back to Atlanta from Ireland, and I was out there for 4 years, right? So yeah, bro, 4 years 3 years in Ireland, and like 9 months in Barcelona.
You got an accent?
Nah. I still say shite. Like I say shite a lot. I say Z instead of Z. But the biggest thing that shocked me in 2024 is when I moved back, and it was a culture shock, bro. Like moving back to Atlanta around Americans.
Yeah.
Right? Like the first month of going to work, just being around Americans, it's a lot. It's like we high energy compared to the rest of the country. I mean, the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like we talk a lot, we talk loud, and not just the black folk. Right? And then also assimilating back into this space. Right? Because like for 4 years I was outside of a Black American space, except for just like Christmas, and that's mostly the fam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also something to think about, bro. Like when you go over there and you get used to that lifestyle, not forgetting about this lifestyle, because I definitely not forgot, but I got hella comfortable over there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was something big for me in 2024.
Can you describe the lifestyle just for
it's just like you said, right? Like Dublin, Ireland is small, bro. Right? Like I walk to get my groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like we walk everywhere you go. I ain't had a car in 4 years. Everybody know everybody. Everybody is open. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much ego out there. You know. And then you come to Atlanta, everybody popping. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I'm just like I'm used to chilling. So like different lifestyle, bro. Different values.
I feel that 100% because like what you realize when you go to these places, like I visited in different countries, and then you get to stay long. But one of the things that you definitely notice is like, damn, when you come to America, it's just literally a race. It feels like
you know what I'm saying?
Like there's no culture, there's no family vibe, nowhere you want to like just like relaxing. It's something that you gotta be with your share all the time, right? You know.
Yeah.
You think that's on purpose? Like you think that's like a driving factor?
American dream. That was the marketing.
Yeah.
I mean that's true, but like at this point, we all so stressed out. Like, you know what I'm saying? What dream you chasing, really?
I think you just kind of get once you in it now. You know
so you can't. That's all you know.
Yeah, but I think it's also because like there's no American culture. You know what I mean? Like you got the Chinese over there, the Jews over there, the Spanish people doing it over there. You know what I mean? And it's like you gotta either be in the cut, or if you can have American culture, you just in the hood. It's a ghetto. Like it's like. It's rugged, cutthroat type shit, you know. Like,
you know what's odd? Sorry,
not right.
I was gonna say, you know what's odd? I was gonna say, American culture exists when you go overseas.
Yeah.
So when you around, you find like, you know what I'm saying, expats and stuff like that. You go, where you from? Jersey? And it'd be like mad camaraderie, bro. Yeah. But it's because y'all all from somewhere else. You got some
culture. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of similar to kind of like how like my family, I said in West Indian, they all congregated in New York. Connecticut, Toronto's, the London. So that's why those areas got such a heavy, influence. Yeah, because everybody came together. You know what I'm saying? You had to send for your aunt. Your aunt stayed with you a few months, and they get enough money to get their place, and they bring somebody in. So it's like I feel like that is happening in inverse from, U.S. elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
He just said it. He like, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to Panama and I'm gonna bring him out. Right? Like it's yeah.
Literally.
That's the game plan.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
If you try to like just like watch the movie and be a part of American culture, all they're trying to exploit you, and that's not a culture. You know what I mean? And you feel it. I feel like you get marketed so much. You get just everything thrown in your face. Everything. You park somewhere for 2 minutes wrong, you got a ticket, $85. Like, it's like, you commercialize everything. Even living HOAs, like
your health, bro.
Yeah,
taxes,
insane.
The seed oils. Every time you go out to eat, bro.
Yeah.
Like it hit me a couple of days ago. I eat out a lot,
Why you looked at him like that? Yeah. Like he confessed to you just now.
But like, I'm just saying, like, 90% of the food you eat out is like seed oils. Them shit is cancerous, bro.
Yeah.
But you gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A?
I don't eat Chick-fil-A. I'm not a Chick-fil-A.
My bad.
I'm a Chick-fil-A type of cat.
Boom.
So, but yeah, man, like your health is a product. Like if you weren't healthy, if you weren't sick, no one could make money off you, off of trying to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the type of vibe you're on, bro.
And it's just treat you. It's not even trying to heal you.
No, they can't.
Because that's
Because
not
if
the
you heal
business.
you, they out of business.
It's sick.
You see what they did to Luigi? Yeah.
You said what?
You see what they did to the boy Luigi?
Nah, who Luigi? You know what I'm saying?
Who
The man.
Luigi?
Who that?
Oh, Luigi's just supposedly the health insurance savior.
Okay.
Right.
What happened?
Oh, well, you know.
I
feel like you can explain it better.
For the audience. You know what I'm saying?
I only know what's on the news, but basically he assassinated the CEO of Universal Health, United Health.
Mhm.
Sorry. And there's been some discourse back and forth. Hey, there's one side of the aisle, the political elites, who are like, yo, we got to make this guy look like the worst kind of human being. They brought him out with 20 cops with machine guns.
The mayor was out there.
Yeah, like making him look like the Joker from Batman or something crazy. But you got the people who's suffering out in the real world, like, yo, thank you.
Yeah.
That's how they honestly feel. Like, yo, they've been gypped their whole life. These people making money off of us. They're not giving us what we need.
Yeah, you can't even get them treatment.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mental everything. You see a bill for $10,000, $20,000.
What you gonna do with that?
You can't even do nothing.
Your heart dropping, stressed out. Like,
you get into a predicament. You got to consider if you want to call the ambulance.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. We live in a crazy time.
It's cheaper than Uber. You get shot.
Uber to the yard, right?
Uber for Uber.
Yo. Paying for the cleaning fee.
Uber for gunshot. Victims, yo.
You might make it. You know what I'm saying?
What? That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy.
Think like you go to you take the, you know what I'm saying? You take the emergency vehicle. Not only do you get a gunshot, you get a crazy ass bill.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
You're probably getting questioned after that too.
Getting questioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Police, the first people you see.
Yeah.
The crazy thing about the whole Luigi joint is that where he got shot is where we used to be at. You know what I'm saying? It was right in front of the crib, the old crib.
Oh shit! It was on 54th.
Yeah, right in front of the old crib.
Central Park, right?
Nah, it's right by the old crib, literally on 5th Ave, 54th.
Oh shit!
I
thought it was in Central Park.
No,
nah, that's what he did.
It was right on the block. So,
Yeah.
all right. So the crazy thing is, in New York, dudes had the crew house. You know what I'm saying? 54th. The only black people in I don't know how many blocks.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So this is a time we were out of college.
Mm-hmm.
We, oddly enough, it's crazy. I got a whole story, but out of college, we were living in the Bronx. Then, dudes moved to Manhattan, right across from MoMA, Museum of Modern Art.
Nice.
So very prestigious area in Manhattan. Penthouse crib. We're throwing parties. Everybody's DJing. We getting lit every other day. Cribs smell like weed smoke. No white old people in the building, bro. It was crazy. So when he got clipped right in front of there, I was like, damn, that's
done changed.
Yo,
Yeah.
Things done changed.
Done changed.
It was safe when we was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right?
That's a high profile joint. It ain't like some hoods type shit.
No.
So I thought it was like a proper
Doorman, like
yeah.
bellhops. You feel me? Like this is it's right by Rockefeller Center where the tree is and all.
Yeah.
Like
Radio
all
City, right down
all the prominent New York places, Times Square down the street is all right there.
Mhm.
So it's not like some back alley, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, Lower East Side spot. So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't know y'all shot over there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yo, and let me backtrack a little bit. The thing that's crazy, right? So me, Issa, a couple of other homies, shout out Bryson and stuff, you know, Mandy, you know, Jay, Jamie, like all the homies. Then we had a event company called The Crew. And the way it started, the way we started the crew, I think we threw the first it was a fight party. It was the fight party. You know, East was in the league. He funded the joint. And we just threw a free party. You feel me? We didn't know if people was gonna come. Threw a free party, promoted it on the flyer. We said, yo, if you're a chick, you can't bring no dudes. It said in bold. You know what I'm saying? We was wilding, huh? We didn't know what we was doing. We was just tripping. But we did that, and then oddly enough, after that, I think some months passed. I ended up getting fired from my job. He's called me like, "Yo, come to Atlanta," and I came to Atlanta. That was my first time in Atlanta for a whole weekend. All we did was smoke and brainstorm. I think Lawrence, you was there. You pulled up. We had like some whole debate. So it's just like everything kind of went full circle. And from that moment, we came with a plan to have a whole event company, multimedia company, and we kind of went crazy in the city. It's probably one of the most influential uh time periods and moments or groups of that time, to be honest. Like people still tell me about things that happened that I had no idea. People met each other. Like we started from an event with probably like 60 people to like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? We were doing all types of stuff, breaking new laws, breaking fire codes and stuff. Breaching contracts. People was flying in, so it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So it was just a full circle moment for me. Pretty much.
That's good.
Yeah. Shit. What you had on your joint on the docket? You got to go on your docket. Oh yeah, go ahead. Talk to me.
Yeah, the shit that happened once today, last night was crazy. If y'all know, somebody drove a car down Bourbon Street, killed 15 people, but he ended up jumping out the car, shooting at people, killing them, killed 2 cops. Like, it was crazy. 25 people hurt and shit. They said he was a part of ISIS. They were saying that he had bombs, like material for bombs. That's why they canceled the Sugar Bowl today. It was supposed to be tonight at 8:45, but they postponed it today because they said there might be a terroristic threat. So that happened like literally last night around like 3 p.m. 3 a.m. I mean,
last night 3 a.m.
That's kind of like what homie did the journey in Times Square, but it wasn't that. He didn't have guns and
he just like kind of spazzed out, rolled on the sidewalk, and just rolled man.
But you know how I feel about this. I mean, I'm sorry for all the victims, man. I hate to hear it, man. You know, it's bad no matter where it is. But you know, I mean, we've had these talks. You already kind of know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, the audience got to know though. You know
I mean, how deep can I go into it? Like,
this is History of the Future podcast. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want.
I mean, I you know, not to say that, like, I feel terrible for the victims because they were a part of something that they shouldn't have been a part of. But I feel like a lot of this is coordinated. You know, terrorism is like violence for political motion, for something political. So there was actually a lot of thought into how people will perceive it. So who benefits from people perceiving it? Think about it. You know, what policies what agendas were
trying to push.
What are they trying to push right now? And I'm sorry to say it, man, but like this particular country, the West is like historically known to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I fully agree with you. You know, I really see it. You know, and then like if y'all didn't hear either in front of a Trump Tower, I don't know what city or what of a Cybertruck.
Yeah, I just read that shit.
Come on.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, they blew up a Cyber. Think about think about the visual. Cybertruck at Trump Tower, Elon Musk, Trump, political. Think about it.
Yeah,
come on, bro.
It's all political. It makes sense. And I kind of knew that something's gonna happen because, like, the Biden administration was not gonna leave like quietly. Like, you could just feel like everything about it. It's like they feel like they're going out. How Trump's coming out and his like political agenda, we're changing everything. You know, we're completely sweeping it all.
Going out with a bang, literally.
Yeah, it feels like they're kind of like I also think that like we think the government is one person, one agenda moving together. I feel like it's a bunch of different. Like the CIA has a different agenda than FBI, and has a different agenda from all these different like government agencies in a sense. And I think that there's a lot more infighting than we actually think is happening type shit than it is just like them putting an agenda on us. I really feel like there's a lot of shit going on with them doing. You know, like so you know, so I wouldn't be surprised if somebody had an agenda like for instance like J. Edgar Hoover with COINTELPRO just having an agenda against black people. Nobody else had to. FBI had to fall in line. No other what's the name had to fall in line. They just went and enacted it on them with their own resources in a sense, you know. So like I feel like a lot of it is going to be coming down to what agency is beefing with what agenda. And I know that they said if like Trump puts the Ramish, I can't remember his name, Cash or something.
Yeah.
The you know I can't remember his name. The Indian guy. Yeah, they put him in office. That half the FBI from like resign. You know, so I think that little things like that is really like kind of pushing the agenda a little bit more.
So we've done some really fucked up things in the world, right? So
Who's we?
The U.S.
Okay.
Right? So for
double check.
Like,
we have, you know, us four niggas.
Just double check.
Comedians causing havoc, right?
Us in this room.
Yeah, but nah, like so when I hear like a dude in an F-150, ISIS plows over 10 people, right? I think of same thing happened in Germany 2 weeks ago at a Christmas market. Dude in a truck plows over 20 people and they die, right? Like, folks, I understand the like, hey, we did it to ourselves to spin up some stuff. But then there's also like, yo, we have done stuff to other people. Why don't they want to attack us and hit us where it hurts?
So you kind of think it's more like okay, we didn't plan this thing, but it happened. Let's try to find a way to capitalize off the event.
I don't think it's capitalizing at all. I think it's some folks
like naturally.
It's just like
course of things like respond.
Exactly. Oh, y'all want to fuck us over? One of our homies gonna come over there and get a couple of y'all folks.
But I'm saying like afterwards. So once they do that, and now the like government gets into the investigation, you think that they're just like trying to kind of find a way that it can fit their agenda.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
So making this happen, and then like having an agenda before this event, and then once this event just being a part of the agenda person, some random event happened, and then now I just form my agenda around how this event happened.
Look at the news lines, right? Like if you look at any of them, CNN, MSNBC, because they had it on at the gym, it was like, this isn't just terrorism, this is global evil, right? So they trying to turn this into something else, right? It happened, but like you said, like y'all said, hey, now we can use this because now we want to go attack these folks now, right? We want to go get this oil, not metaphorical oil. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but I also think there's a world where we had just done some really messed up stuff as a country, and folks got to get theirs from us.
I mean, I agree with that, but I'm just like, there's a lot of people from different places here. There's a lot of families and communities here. I actually think, honestly, I think people outside of the system are more informed and are less likely to do that. I think more people here are more likely to commit those types of acts because of just the mass induction of media and propaganda and all that jazz. No matter what you do, you see it. And even if you don't see it, your friends are talking about it. They don't even know if what they're saying is true. It's just what they heard. And they don't want to say, they can't say if it's correct or not. They just don't want to be wrong because if they're wrong, then they're castigated. You know, they're stigmatized. So just my personal opinion. I think people on the outside who may commit those acts, they obviously exist. But if you're going to do that, it's like, who benefits from that?
Because what's real about that too is that he was born and raised in Texas.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's not like an international terrorist. And like who knows if that ISIS flag was even to like just misdirection in a sense. You know what I mean? To say like, okay, y'all, we're gonna put ISIS on this, but this is really some other agenda.
Bro, there's so much shit that just happens anywhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine all the shootings, all the crimes that happen in Atlanta, and they just pinned it on some random ass group. You know what I'm saying? It would look crazy.
And it's like
so it's very opportunistic. just tag some shit.
That enemy immediately.
Exactly.
People like worrying and like looking for one.
So we could rally around. You like, fuck, ISIS coming back. But to your point, right? Like going back to the German dude. The German dude was a Saudi Arabian immigrant living in Germany that got hella conservative and right wing and started being anti-immigration and killed a bunch of folks at like a highly Islam. It's crazy, bro. So just like he said, it's people inside getting radicalized, right? He's an immigrant now inside saying, nah, we don't need more immigrants.
Yeah.
Like that's the crazy part.
That's just brainwashed immediately.
Yeah, man.
And then he was made to do something for someone else's benefit. What he just did, is against what he's probably trying to help out. Now people are against him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So who benefits at the end of the day?
Exactly. He thought he was so righteous in his fucking journey.
Yeah, bro. He just, the result is the opposite now.
Crazy.
It's
crazy times right now. It's a lot of change. I think a lot of enlightenment.
It's like a rubber man is stretched both ways.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know in our lifetime, but somebody's got to put this puzzle together. And there needs to be a book written on how this sort of thing, like propaganda and the result of actions of propaganda, what are the examples? Because there's a string of school shootings, terror. Of course. They kind of do the same type of thing.
Of course, programming.
You know what I'm saying? But, okay, 2 is a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. There's intelligence behind it. So what, you know what I'm saying? That I don't know where it'll come from, but some force, somebody needs to analyze this sort of thing. It's like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, this shit. I mean, it's definitely concerted effort, bro. Like you can even look back, what was it, like the early 1900s? Like you heard of Edward Bernays.
Yeah.
He's like the godfather of like public PR, public relations. So he was the dude that was tasked with like pushing agendas for like the early when people were working in factories and stuff like that. So like say for instance, like the American breakfast. Like what's an American breakfast? If you had to think of it.
Eggs, toast, sausage.
Bacon, eggs, and toast. Yeah. So he made that up. You know what I'm saying? To sell more bacon on behalf of the meat industry and stuff like that. He was the one that made he made cigarettes popular amongst women because women were never smokers. You feel me? They were never smokers. And during the women's suffrage movement, he was the one that said like, light your torches of independence or whatever the case may be. And women started to smoke cigarettes and it became commonplace. So like, as long as, this thing has been around, they've been manipulating messages and narratives for people to follow along with, and people just get in line with it. Get in line, like you said, like it's also a period of enlightenment. But it's like as many people are getting enlightened, they're starting to be like more outward thinkers and self knowledge of self and all that. There's also those that are still lagging and groupthink, and they're gonna get got by the heavy program. We all do at some regard, but it's some real dummies out there
I think it's because we have 8 billion people. You know what I mean? I think that the number of people that are more enlightened just gives the ability for more people to follow the right person. Because that's all we needed. People are under bad leadership in a sense. You know what I mean? I feel like as the world grows and as we get more people that could understand what's going on, you could go and kind of build a different type of world outside of what these people have as the option.
So you talk
about
like,
leadership. Similar to going to Panama. It's easy to get a bunch of dummies to go to Panama.
Like Nature Boy, remember Nature Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in Costa Rica.
Yeah. But you could do that. People will just follow. We see propaganda here correctly. You know what I mean?
People want something to believe in.
Yeah, they need something
people
to follow.
People don't be righteous.
Yeah, but oftentimes people just have this American nightmare that it is. It's not even a dream. It's the American nightmare of how everything costs to breathe, costs to live, costs to sleep, costs for everything.
So I think my bad. I don't mean to cut you off, but like I think it's clever. I mean, I'm saying that. I mean, I understand. So the foundation needed to be built in order to get people to even move like that.
Yeah.
The destruction of the family system, the dependence on your job and the government and all these things.
Exploitation of the black woman.
Yeah,
Yep.
exploitation of black women, black people in general, isolating people, making people feel isolated. You know what I'm saying? And then you feel like you got nothing. So what are you gonna grab? You get an induction of propaganda, media, or from wherever. You're more susceptible to it. It's a machine, bro. Like
you're isolated now. You want to feel included.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see the groups that you can fit into. You're gonna go for that.
And that's all we were talking about music. That's why all the music sound the same, because you're like, hey, this is the group that I can fit into, right? Like that's what's being pumped to you. Whatever violence is being pumped to you, whatever over-sexualized stuff you're watching on TikTok and Instagram is being pumped to you, and that's going to be your algorithm, right? Like everything you see will be generated. Exactly, bro. So unless you're really controlling what you read and what you see and who you talk to, right? Like the world's gonna do it for you. Yeah. Right. So you're gonna be programmed.
How you do that? You're saying, look, I'm a 17-year-old kid. You saying all this shit now. How I do that? You know what I'm saying?
You can't. That's
what
the
you
point.
mean.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I'm saying, so there's not, of course, like if I want to get in shape, I go to the gym. Now, if I don't want to fall into that pitfall that you're talking about, how would you instruct somebody to kind of navigate that?
You got to have a system around you. You got to have a healthy collection of people around you. That's the only way.
And that's what I was gonna ask you, bro. Like you say like leadership. I was talking to a homie earlier, and we were like, yo, like who are the black leaders right now? Right? Like who are they? If you think about it, you feel me? Right? Right? Like if I'm a 17-year-old
sexy
dude,
ran for president,
my dad not in the house, right? Like my mom's working, bless her heart. You know, my brother already in the streets, right? TikTok telling me I need to go out there to make some money so I could get me a sexy red. Where the leaders are, right?
I think that's why we're at that age where we gotta see those guys. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we looking at it from a childish perspective, thinking that somebody's gonna come save us. The whole time we 30 plus. We gotta have our life together, and we gotta be the leaders of everything. You know, so I think it's like a personal responsibility part of it, more so than somebody else coming from the outside to.
That's real.
And I think that like agendas are created by groups of people.
Yeah.
You know, you bring people together, you could go and do some shit. You know what I mean? Like private equity running the world. Private equity is just a bunch of guys. You know what I mean? Like it's not the government. It's not. You know, it's just a bunch of people that say, all right, we're going to pull our shit together. We're going to make sure that this place is valuable. This thing is valuable. Guarantee it. And then now I'll build the world out from there.
So do you think, in terms of leadership, do you think that's something that individuals should explicitly aim for? Like saying like, this is like, I'm the leader of X, Y, Z.
I think that.
Or is it more so something that organic, like you just living your life and people are like, looking up to you, doing things that they might be interested in?
I think that, you know, kind of like how your parents built an environment for you to just be the person that you are. You know what I mean? You didn't just like wish upon what you are. I think that the environment has to be built. So like through nonprofit foundational things, you can have programs where you support the people. You give them information, you give them opportunity, you give them different things to look up to. You show the kids, you talk to the kids about money and all these things, you know? So I think it's something that's, you know, it's just something that happens through just organically just being around them, you know, and changing the conversation. And
like giving the space to have that conversation.
Yeah, it's like on the grand scale, people don't want to talk about that. But on the personal scale, people only want to talk about
that's
it.
That's
I mean, so like, I think that you just touching the people, especially the kids are so easily influenced. And you look good, you look like you're making money. Oh, I'm going to Panama. Oh, I'm going to Florida. I'm going here. They want to know, I want your life.
Yeah.
How you do that? I'm like, I'll show you the rules of how this works on this side and outside of that type of agility.
Yeah. No, I like that. Makes sense. Yeah. Create a foundation by basically giving them
an example. I think that's a problem. We all
talking too much.
I'm the leader.
Yeah, what you leader.
Yeah.
You ain't got
things for people.
That's a fact.
Keep it low. Like, you know, like that's my mindset with it. I don't want to ruffle no feathers. Like, because when feathers are ruffled, people get hurt. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just want to move and grow and be silent, take time.
Privatization over public time. You know what I'm saying?
But so let me ask you, because that's a wonderful idea. I feel like some people are trying in different capacities. Like, what would be a good example? Say, like, because, you know, the Black community, there's certain things we gravitate to, especially men, sports, music, shit like that. You think kids, I'm basically asking, in what environment would be the best way to feed them that information. Because you know, you go, you know, you find an establishment where you can get a group of kids, a couple dozen kids. Some of them are willing to listen, but some of them, they got issues going on at home they can't deal with. You know what I'm saying? They got peer pressure, they got other shit. But if they take an interest in something, and then on top of that, you feeding them that information, I think that would stick a little more.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
Like, kind of see like they kind of like this thing already, and they provide the thing for them.
Yeah.
But it's also they got kids that be getting kicked out of school, right? Like some of them are like mandated to go to like the YMCA or like the boys club after school so they don't get in trouble, right? Like I used to volunteer at a place like that, right? And that's where you have, maybe they don't want to be there, but they got to be there for an hour and they're attentive, right? So after maybe 4 weeks of trying to draw them in, they're like, all right, cool, I got to talk to this dude, right? Like let me go ahead and try to make the best out of it, right? But the thing about those programs is like, for lack of a better term, it's just like a sentence, right? Like, hey, you could do this for 6 months, and then once you show that you can do this, you get out of here, right? And who knows what happens? And I can't be like, yo, brother, like you're really cool. I see some growth. Like let's keep in contact after you get done with the program. You can't do that, right? Because that's not in the program guidelines. So
see, it got to be something that's just organic. Like you for instance, like when you say programs, I think of my life, like when I started playing football, I started doing youth sports. Like that was like I wanted to play sports, so I'm more susceptible to listen to my coaches or like an older man telling me like the ways of life because this is something I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Versus it being a mandate. I don't really want to be here. You might get something from it, but I think the barrier to entry is that much harder when you kind of have those kind of situations.
That's why I kind of wanted to start with the sports because I think that like it's a natural ambition in being an athlete. Like regardless of what sport you play, because you have to go train in the off season. You could be playing with your friends and hanging out. So like those people kind of show that type of dedication that allows you to see that they want a little bit more out of life in a sense, So like I want to kind of start with the athletes. And then I remember I was starving for knowledge, like all the way coming up. We taught each other so much in college. It's like arguing and seeing different perspectives, like seeing different world, like this testing your way of thinking versus everybody else.
Being challenged.
Yeah, like I learned from my peers though. There was no like somebody older that was kind of like teaching us like what's going on. And I went to the league and I learned so much so fast because it was teaching me correct. You know what I mean? Like for other skills that I've had in college, I would not end up going to the NFL. But the fact that I got to a place where the coaching was so good that they know how to simplify things so well, it allowed me to be able to kind of like make myself prepared for the game in a sense. And I think if you get these kids when they're 7th grade, 5th grade, whatever, kind of learning these same little principles that I learned from when I was 22, then it's a whole different world. I remember one of the things that really changed the way I seen things was I was training for the NFL after my senior year of college. My second semester senior year of college, so I used to drive back and forth from the Bronx to Parisians in Jersey. And we would train from like 7 a.m. to like 2. And then we would go about our day at class and all that type of stuff. But when we were done, the kids from Don Bosco at high school down the street were coming and got trained by the same guy that trained me to go to the NFL. And I'm like, wow. Like, so of course these kids are successful. You know what I mean? Because they getting the same information I got at 22, at 14.
That's for real.
You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, if we can bring that to our community and that type of thing through the principles of sports and stuff like that, it could really like help the certain people that will be the leaders to stand out and really make an impact change. Well, that's my theory, and that's how I kind of.
It makes sense. It's like the family business. When people come up with a family, like kids learn from young how to run the business. So by the time they're a teenager, they can run it with their eyes closed.
And they understand business. They understand what it is.
I'm just gonna go to school just because that's what's in my trust. And I'm gonna do whatever I do. Just piggyback off that, right? So me and you were the Ford, PWI, Jesuit School, Bronx. You went to HBCU. Okay. And you went to Savannah. So you went to SCAD. Savannah College of Art and Design.
You was in Savannah? Oh, you was in Atlanta?
Yo,
y'all
got a twin.
That's crazy.
Y'all got the same.
Yeah, we've been in the same areas,
for real.
Yeah.
Where you went? You went to SCAD?
I lived in Savannah. I went to Savannah State.
Oh, you went to?
Yeah, bro. We the same age. We were there.
Yeah, bro. Oh, bro. I don't know, man. Small world.
That's crazy.
Man.
My bad. What you were saying, though, bro?
Nah, I was gonna say that's kind of crazy. But all right, I kind of know our experience. We'll probably get into it. Like, I want to hear about like your college experience,
Mm,
why you went there. You feel me?
true.
Like, what does it still resonate with you? Like tell me what that situation is like, because we ain't go to HBCU,
Yeah.
I mean, especially in Atlanta. It's
Yeah.
HBCU heaven over
Yeah, the
here,
folks
bro.
that went there is
I
just
got homies
powerful
from
folks.
FAMU,
Yeah.
Howard, Clark, all this stuff, and they repping crazy. And I was
Mhm.
like, I wouldn't afford them. We just repping for the homies of my homies.
Yeah, bro.
So I just want to hear like what that
So
experience.
so my experience was hella different, man. So going back to y'all point, like the football stuff, like I never played any sports, right? Ever. So when I'm thinking about like leadership and like programs, like I feel you gotta have a diverse set of brothers, right? Because you're gonna have some folks that like me, I was a band kid, right? But yet when I left school, it was so much stuff to do that could get me in trouble. You feel me? So if a football brother come talk to me talking about something, getting these sports, I'm like, nah, I'm about to go out and smoke with the homies, right? And play this instrument. Right. So you got to have that diversity. So I came to Clark my first year, right? Ended up getting kicked out of Clark the second semester, right? Had a 0.78 GPA, pound of weed in my dorm room, rolling on X on the strip. Like I was having a blast, right? So
It's the best experience I had.
so you know what I'm saying? So I went to Savannah. I went to Savannah State out of like it took like I got kicked out. So when you get kicked out for drugs, you lose your Hope Scholarship, which is like the public school kind of money. So I had to go to Savannah Technical College, right, to get my grades up, and then I went to Savannah State, right. So by the time I got to Savannah State, I was 3 years older than all the other folks in class, right. So I'm working, right. Y'all talking about going to Miami? Nah, I'm working, fam. Right? Like I can't really kick it like that. So for me, when I got to Savannah State and I finally met some guys that I was like, oh crap, like y'all really about this college stuff. Right? Like, cause for the past 2, 3 years, I was messing around in college. Like I was having a blast. I was partying. So to see that level of like black excellence, right? Like brothers going to class in suits, brothers like, nah, I'm doing my homework tonight, right? Like, and then going to the calf and hearing swag surf and eating fried chicken and catfish Fridays, right? Like, you feel me? Like, I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm in Savannah. I'm in my city. And I didn't even know this was over here. Because all I'm used to is smoking weed in the back with the homie, right? But now I'm like, look at this. Look at this. You feel me? So it was a eye-opening experience to know that it was a different type of brothers, right? That was great for me.
You think if you met them earlier, your whole route would have been different.
Yeah. If I would have fell in line at Clark, but also I'm very happy with my trajectory, bro. Like I wouldn't be talking to y'all if that something happened, right? So if I would have met some folks, I wasn't ready at the time. Like I had to go through what I went through to kind of get to where I'm at. That sounds cliche as crap, but
That's a fact. What about you, man? Scad.
I mean,
What that experience is like. I kind of know your story a little bit. You feel me? Like going into SCAD, but just what was that like?
I was in art mode, bro. I like to create stuff. I like to make stuff. I went to SCAD for filmmaking. I was already on that film kick. I love movies. That was my environment. So when I got there and I got to touch those cameras and all that stuff, and I was like, man, this is it. Culture shock coming from New York, Connecticut to down south first time. First time I ever walked by people, white folks in a car and they lock their door on me type shit. Clutching bags type stuff. I'm like, yo, they really do that out here. Okay. But I mean, my situation was a blur. I wasn't really partying like that. I had my moments with some folks, you know what I'm saying? But I was really into the creation of what I was doing. I loved it. So that was my whole vibe out there that whole time. So I mean, yeah, that's it. It wasn't nothing too exciting.
One thing that was interesting about SCAD folks, bro, is y'all brought so much stuff to the city, right? Because like I don't know if y'all have been to Savannah, but once you get out of the downtown area, it becomes very segregated, and it's not that much money in Savannah. But SCAD brought so much money. But also when we used to go downtown, like that's the first time seeing like a hella creative dude just in the mix. Right? Like it's a bunch of y'all.
What does that mean though?
So all of us wearing big old jabos, right? Like Nietzsche. You feel me?
You could tell who's from SCAD versus Savannah.
You feel me?
You could just tell. It take a couple seconds.
Yeah. It was like, look at all these dudes. You hella creative over there, bro.
And let's be honest, a lot of some scaddies, like oddballs, man.
Yeah, man.
That's just the vibe they be on, because they be so into what they be. The niggas don't be sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They be. It's the whole world is built inside their brain. I went through that shit.
Yeah.
So they don't even look at the world the same.
Yeah.
That's why they be odd. But,
Yeah, bro.
But they be making some incredible shit.
Yeah.
And they
It's
don't
beautiful.
sleep. Yeah.
It's beautiful,
That's
bro.
interesting.
What years were y'all there?
Man. 20. Shit. I graduated 2011. So
I graduated 2010.
2010?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
Same time.
My first big girlfriend went to SCAD, bro.
Okay.
I used to be in them dorms that was like the hotel or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to love going on that campus, bro. I felt so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I had, you remember the names of the some of the dorms?
No. I used to be high as hell. Yeah, man. Yeah, but like, what was PWI like though?
So I guess it's funny when you talk about like Fordham and like school. Like, I was always a good student, like throughout my life, high school, all that good grade. I was a good athlete as well. I don't think nobody that ended up at Fordham really wanted to be at Fordham like that. That was like them guys. It's just like you kind of just ended up there, bro. So when we got there, you feel me? Like, Issa, he got invited early. So it was like Issa, some of the other homies, they came in the summertime. So they working out, they getting acclimated to the school, the campus life. They didn't invite me. So I thought I was like, sorry. I'm like, damn, they think I'm sorry. So I was just working out OD. So by the time I got to school, it's kind of like, you know, you just kind of you just figuring it out. Like our school's like Hogwarts to me. Like looking back, it's like literally like Hogwarts. It looked like Hogwarts. Nothing is mad white folks. They, rich, got endowments, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it's just like the football team, like the melanated folks play sports. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, football, or they were girls that went to the dance school at Alvin Ailey. So it was kind of like that. But I think my experience was dope because of the people I was around. You know what I'm saying? So like Issa was saying, we would be in the cab arguing, bro, loud, arguing, bro, every day, arguing, debating. So intrinsically, you starting to get sharper and sharper and sharper. And it's like y'all all athletes, so ain't nobody backing down. It's not like no civil. So I think you kind of grow with that kind of with like warrior mentality where you're not backing down. So it's like, but everybody cool. So it's like you keep sharpening your tools. But it was a lot of wild shit that happened at Fordham, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I can't. Every time we link up, we talk about shit that happened.
It was interesting because the Fordham, it's in the Bronx, so it's in the
hood, exactly.
And it's a gated community.
The hood, the hood.
So like
South Bronx
on the campus is the whitest thing you've ever seen in your life. Outside of the fucking campus is the Bronx. Like,
Fordham Road, Bronx.
Wow, shit. Like I'm talking about, we used to go to sleep in the dorms. And you wake up on a Sunday to the Black Israelites yelling at white people.
On Third Ave. Yeah. And like students was getting duct tape robbed.
What?
Students was getting duct tape and robbed. Like we would get student advisories
on campus or just like
off campus. If you step off campus,
that was another
like,
a whole nother.
You gotta think. Yeah, go ahead.
It was a dry campus, so there was no drinking on campus. You couldn't party, so all the partying was in the back.
But it's like across the street. It's not like you going deep. It's across the street, but it's the Bronx.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there'll be like drunk white dudes. You know what I'm saying? Students walking through the hood, but you're lit. Like we getting up to go to practice, or we getting up to go to weight training at 6 a.m. It's fiends outside, 187th, 188. Like Zombieland, look like Thriller. You know what I'm saying? But to us, it's just regular. Like, all right, that's what we do. Like, we was living in shitty apartments. You know what I'm saying? But we made the best of it. It was fun.
It was a culture shock. Because this is like going from regular neighborhood where you're around black people, then you go around like Donald Trump wife. You know what I mean? So it's like literally a culture shock in the way that they move and the things that they have. Like, it was just an interesting way to see the world versus coming from like the area that we came from.
That's a fact. And he also being an athlete, bro, we wasn't getting no like extra care or nothing like that, bro. Like, dudes going to study hall, they getting taught by a nun who ain't know nothing. Like, it was crazy. Like,
it was treated like a club sport. And the thing was, like, our class was special because we was like, out of 30 kids, 25 was black. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so.
But like Yeah, like
Yeah,
not
like
just
black.
city
Yeah.
black,
Yeah.
like not like
It's tattoo artists,
Yeah.
drug dealers, DJs, barbers.
You said
like
you had all that. Or
our
That was all
class.
in our
That's
class.
in
In
your
our class.
class.
So that's why we went to chip our first season.
As white as it was, we kind of insulated by our own.
That's a fact.
So, like we was able to like kind of go out into that world, come back to each other, and come back to our
recharge,
conclusions,
yeah.
and argue, like come back and forth, come to decisions. Like make sense of the world outside of just like being a black person in this world.
Mhm.
It's like, damn, I'm the only one, so shit. I don't know if I could really make it while
Yeah.
keeping myself the way I am. Like that's one thing that helped us like make it through.
That's a
Like,
fact.
we kept ourselves like with our own culture and kept it moving through for them instead of like being affected by the outside. That's culture in a sense.
Because a lot of people did get affected too. And a lot of
and
people
it's normal,
changed.
and that's normal.
Yeah. A lot of people change, but you see them now, they're like super buttoned up.
Yep.
Yeah.
They talk a certain
Yeah.
way, their family looks a certain way.
Yeah.
But like not our homies, everybody just
Yeah.
it's like we all hold each other accountable for being yourself type of
Yeah.
thing. Like that ain't you, like you know what I'm saying?
And we know for you to change up, it must be something bad.
Yeah.
Like for you to do that, we wouldn't have never been cool. We'd have seen that when you was just a freshman and sophomore, like. So that's what it's good to like. It just keeps you that faith that keep being yourself. Don't try to succumb to something because that's what the world looks like. But a lot of people do that because that's what they just think. Oh, this is the world. Let me get in how I fit in. But I'm grateful we have those reminders within us to be like hold true to yourself, to be real to yourself through the whole journey.
Did y'all ever think about going to a HBC?
Shit, I want to see it too. I honestly went to English school with an all-Canadian scholarship. Fordham was the only one. I was trying to play football. That was really my mindset. So if the HBCU did offer me, I would have went.
Yeah, I was for a small brief period because I didn't go straight out of school. Straight out of high school. I went to I went to school in Springfield, community college for a little bit, and then went to SCAD. But there was a brief period where I had a fascination with the fraternity, the whole Greek situation. HBCUs, you know what I'm saying, that whole vibe in Georgia. And that whole I forget what time it was, but the South was kind of popping on the music scene, you know what I'm saying?
man.
This is weird.
Yeah, so I'm like, that might be it. But
Snap, yeah. Little stomp.
10 years.
Yeah.
5X shirts.
Yeah. Damn.
But I never thought about going to a PWI. Like my mom's, I think she knew that I would have did better because I didn't have a distraction. Like she was like, "Yo, go to Mercer, right? Like go to Georgia Southern." But like you said, like the South Atlanta was popping. How am I gonna turn that down and go to Macon?
Did people from your family go to HBCU?
My brother did. Grandparents.
So
my mom
you
was the
like
only
exposed,
one.
though.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Only person I went to HBCU was my uncle Robin. God bless the day. He passed away this past year. But he went to Hampton.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was in the Air Force, you feel me? So like he was living I didn't really get to see him like that to even have that influence on me. My pops didn't go to school. My mom went to Central Connecticut.
One person I know was Vic that went to
But Vic went to Virginia.
Oh, he went to Virginia.
Yeah, ain't nobody go to
you're right.
But we all saw a different world though.
You know what I'm saying?
Right? Like watching a different world, seeing them go to school and knowing that like, that was an HBCU, like even that left a little bit of an imprint on me. You know what I'm saying? I was like that's
true.
Right? Like I see whatever Saved by the Bell, they going off to college, that don't look cool to me. Right? Like what Denise is doing looks cool to me. I want to go where they at. Right? So that from a pop culture perspective, right? And then from a familiar perspective, HBCU was all I had, bro. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Yeah, if I grew up in the South, probably did.
Yeah, because my cousins went to Hostos. They was I got nothing. I'm about to go to Hostos, bro. Yeah.
All right. That's true. Interesting.
I feel like HBCUs has a lot of untapped potential, man.
Agreed. Yeah.
It's like you want to cultivate Black excellence. That's there already, but I don't know if it's underfunded or
it's too expensive.
It's too expensive,
right? Like unless you get a scholarship going to an HBCU, you're gonna leave out of there with so much debt, bro. Because most of them are private, right? Like it's not a state funded school, so you got to get hella loans, or your folks got to have money and just keep you straight, right? So. Exactly.
You gotta be partying the whole time.
And then also from a professor perspective, they don't pay that well. Right? Like if I'm a professor at Savannah State, I know right now if I had the credentials and the time to teach at Georgia State, I would go there 100%, right? Because the check is going to be way better for me at Georgia State. So how can HBCUs bring the top talent in terms of students if they can't bring the top talent in terms of faculty, right? Like all of that. And then that hits with companies, that hits with endowment. Because they're like, bro, like none of your professors have done any research in 3-4 years. I'm gonna go get my money to these folks.
I know peer review.
Yeah.
Yo. Oh, okay. I mean, what do you think about like even like say like former NFL stars starting to go back and coach at HBCUs, like Michael Vick, Norfolk State, and then they got Deshaun Jackson at Dallas State. Do you think like those types of movements will change the entire environment of school? Does it make it more cool to go to these schools? Does it make it more cool to teach at these schools? Does it like bolster the school pride type of thing to kind of change the?
I think it's always cool to go to a HBCU, right? Like I don't think it's ever not gonna be cool. Like even when George Floyd happened and all those companies were giving money to HBCUs and Denzel Washington somewhere, Obama. Yeah, like so many folks started going, right? So I think it's always going to be cool. I think there's always going to be a space in the Black community as it should be for HBCU. However, to your point, right? Like I don't know if it's underfunded, it's just too expensive, and we got to find somewhere to bridge the gap between what an HBCU could be and the roadblocks between the pricing of it. Right. So yeah, Norfolk, like him going there, it's gonna be great, but it's not gonna change the cause for the people that's not on the team.
You think that it could bring more money to the school? So for instance, like Deion went to Jackson State already. He went to Colorado. Jackson State just won the conference championship this year. You know, so just off the rip, it was on ESPN.
City economy went crazy.
Yeah, city economy goes up. You know, so like you think that possibly being able to like bring these players in that will bring the better players in, that will have more people come to the game, that will start bringing money,
more booster,
more attention.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like money. I think that's what we learn from Deion Sanders.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And then kind of do the same Deion Sanders route, just record it all.
Yeah,
just, you know, like how Deion Sanders just like vlogging it all. True. You know, now you really care about this kid. You care about the whole thing.
You stuck in the narrative.
But that's how people think though. You got to show it to them.
Yeah,
show them a story, something they want to be a part of. So that's a great way to do it.
Yeah,
that's a nice little pipeline. I don't know. I mean, you know, Deion, how he did it from Jackson State and then went to Colorado. I understand the situation, but like you mentioned, because of the fact that he was there, he brought attention with him, and he was showing it. You know, that's all he needed, and now look where they at now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good.
So you got Shannon Sharp that went to Savannah State. Right, he's been he shouts us out all the time, right? So big ups. He had College Game Day at Savannah State, right? Like so much hoopla around the city. You feel me? You got you have ESPN on campus, right? For a week, events everywhere, money everywhere. A month later, crickets, bro. So it will, because the season is over, right? The money's given. Hey, once next semester comes, we got tennis, basketball, nobody's coming to those games, right? So whatever money you get from that football season, you got to budget, bro. You got to invest. You got to say, okay, we're going to fix this hall, right? And that's it. Very much so. Yeah, man. Yeah, so it has to be something supplemental than just the sports space. We got to have teachers that can get people like, yo, our mass comm school, people are competing, winning, getting more money in that space. It can't just be the arenas, bro. You feel me? We gotta have a lot more money coming in, but it will happen, right? Because I think when more people start to see what HBCU people can do and have done, that's when we'll feel more comfortable sending our people. Because I know Black folks who parents are like, nah, you're not going to HBCU, right? Like you got the grades to go to UGA, right? You're gonna go do that. So I think we gotta get comfortable with sending our people to HBCUs too.
So let me ask you, like, I don't have that much experience with HBCU, but like, what is it? Only the culture that's predominantly the why would I? Okay, sell me on HBCU. Like, what exactly?
It is the culture, bro. Like
it's the culture.
Yeah, it's the
Sell
culture.
him. He's an incoming student.
Yeah, bro. It's
between y'all and UGA.
Between us and UGA, right? Like, think of Yeah, bro. I think right, like it's a safe space, right? Like it's a space where you'll be able to go in and if you're having problems with a class, right, like your professor look like you and you won't feel stupid going to them, right? The classes aren't as big as UGA, right? You got some halls that are through 200 kids and you're just a number and the TA isn't grading at paper. At most HBCUs, you know the professor, right? Like you can go to their office. So I think the familiarity is something, but also it's the culture, bro. It's
Yeah.
the culture.
So like the reason I asked is because I tell my younger cousins now like don't even go to college.
Mm.
Like take your money and invest it in a business or something like that. Like so I guess I'm asking if I already have an ambition,
Mm-hmm.
why should I go to HBCU
Yeah.
versus something that I could
You mean college period though? That sounds like a
college? But
specific.
you can get certain knowledge from college that can help your ambition.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying differentiating between
Starting a business now versus going to college.
or
No. Like
predominantly HBCU versus
if my position was that hey, I could get something that could help me in my ambition from a college, why should I go to a HBCU
Yeah.
versus
another?
a regular college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's because it's the culture, bro. Right? Like I can't say that I do not regret going to 2 HBCUs. I don't. Right.
Well,
And
do you think the knowledge that you got from the HBCUs is like it makes you hyper competitive versus somewhere?
oof.
Yo, I ain't go to HBCU, but this is my perspective, and it might not make no sense. But I have a lot of friends who went to HBCUs here, like my FAMU homies, bro. Their network is
Mhm.
crazy.
Mm.
Like, bro, when they do something, it's like rivers and nations come. You know what I'm saying? The Howard folks, when it's some Howard shit, they're all there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think usually the thing that kind of gets overlooked is just the fact that you know people, you have access to people. And that might be something that is harder to aggregate when you just start your business on your own.
Yeah.
Because you're not just thrown in a pool of just people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So like you get a business, you're gonna get business acumen, you're gonna learn how to P&L charts, you're gonna learn how to budget, you're gonna learn all this stuff, which is super important. But when you have people, just share people,
Yeah.
yo,
You got
it's
people
like
to
you could
market
kind of,
to.
yeah, if you got people and then you start a business, you could probably cut the line a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people that want to invest, you got people that are, all the other stuff. So that's what I kind of see that I'm kind of fond of when I go to these FAMU Howard events. It's just like, yo, like I know all of y'all, and this is a lot of y'all. And I feel
Yeah.
like I kind of went there low key, like I got my little
Mhm.
associates or something. You know what I'm saying, from one of these schools. So I could see that being a thing because at Fordham, like we're like our class is homies. Like probably if you went to the football system, dudes a lookout. But outside of that, yo, like I don't really come across too many people, and I'm like, oh, like we connected on some shit. Like I don't
Like, unless you wear something from Fordham, like
hey for them, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It don't go deeper than that.
conversation. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like network pretty much.
Nah,
Like
yeah,
just the
for
people.
sure.
Okay, then no, that's dope. That makes a lot of sense.
but I still would say start a business.
If you already
But
know what you want to do in
that's-
life, I
that's-
say go for it as well. Right.
College,
Like I think college adds structure, but if you already got the idea, like you can find people to help you build that structure versus giving somebody $30,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? To take classes you probably wouldn't even use.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got that out the way. All right, aliens, yo, talk to me. Yeah, this is in the future, but I want to talk about that type of
Hell
shit.
of a
What you think about
segue,
aliens?
bro.
Fake, real? What's up? You believe in them? These
It's not
declassified
believing.
documents
I
and shit,
don't
some bullshit.
care what happens outside of this sphere. I'll be honest with you.
Mm.
All right,
I stopped caring. Like I don't know what hit me. I was like, yo, so what? Like, yo, you got some aliens, some grays with some big ass eyes floating around, whatever. They abduct people every now and then. They take a cow every now and then. Who cares, bro? Like we got niggas got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit going on.
Like shit like that, bro. Like, yo, that's kind of the vibe I'm on. It'd be nice to, chill one at some point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? So, I just don't find it strange anymore. Even if it exists, like if they do, and I think it makes no sense that the only forms of intelligent life are on this sphere. That doesn't make any sense to me. But it's also odd that you don't really encounter them.
Or maybe you do.
Or maybe you do and you just call them something else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my thing. I think that's what it is.
I mean, either case.
I don't think like aliens are from another planet. I think the thing we think of aliens is in water, like, you know, and they can go to other planets, but I think they're of Earth in a sense, you know. Because I think about why would they come here? Why would you go from another galaxy here? Unless you coming from Mars. But like what made Earth so special out of all the other planets you would pass in here in a sense, you know? So my mindset is like whatever an alien is from here. And if it's from here, I want to learn the technology to learn that way of life that allowed them to live like that, opposed to having to steal what we got here and shit.
So when you saying like
alien bills,
alien.
Aliens got to pay alien bills. You don't even know they struggle.
So you saying like some type of like whatever's at the deepest depths of the ocean is probably alien.
So they said that like there was some Navy or Air Force pilot that said they got this new technology in the airports, and as soon as they cut it on, it was for them to be able to see a different frequency.
Yeah.
As soon as they cut it on, it was just UFOs all over the water.
Chill.
You know what I mean? So like they were always over the water. They could move like in movements like that and stuff like that.
Not linear shit.
Yeah, not linear type shit. You know, so like I think that there's all you need for what we know on this planet is water for life.
Yeah.
So I think that there's probably intelligent life on the bottom of the ocean that's way smarter than anything us living creatures can ever be. And I think that that's what the aliens actually are. You know.
No, you good shit. I agree. I don't think there's nothing outside of this sphere like that, to be honest. I think everything is inside.
You think that there's no like the Truman Show type shit?
Yeah, like firmament, like we in here. Like I don't think niggas wants the moon. I don't think none of that shit.
So do you think the moon is real?
Do I think the moon is real?
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. It's something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't think niggas, I don't think people landed on the moon. I don't think they landed a rover on Mars. I don't think none of that. So I do agree, because I think in my perspective, all this is water. Like we're in water now. It's just at a different density than the water that we drink or the water that we swim in. And then like I remember seeing reports of them like trying to penetrate the depths of the ocean. And it's like what they shot down there, like was either a rocket or a submarine or something. It would bounce off, you feel me, off some of the walls in the ocean because it was just too dense.
Pressure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think things exist or entities exist at different densities and different buoyancies depending on where you are. Like we're just here because this is how we're calibrated to be. You feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things that are over there are calibrated to be in that space. Like a fish can't be in the air and just be chilling. You feel me? So I think it's something similar like that. Or if it is something, I think it's going to be like, I think more like non-temporal. So it's not going to be a form like this.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I've had experiences where I've seen some wild shit and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it wasn't like in like this density. It was just like some other shit. Like tripping. I was kind of, I was sober. Yeah, I've seen some shit. But yeah, you know, if we did shrooms, you know, the world ain't what you think it is. Type shit.
What do you think about the whole? I've heard this take on it where say aliens, well, the Greys, were what we are now,
Got further away.
but got further away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
shit was hard, and they had to go underground type shit.
Yeah, and then that's how they became Grey.
Yeah.
So effectively, we're gonna
that's our trajectory. I genuinely 100% believe that though. I truly believe that whatever species that had to go through the same evolution we have. Whatever they look like, whatever the case may be. I think that they just been here longer than us, and that's where they at now.
Some girls. That was what's my son name from what that tree?
Maine.
Maine.
Terrence Howard.
That was Terrence Howard. That was Terrence Howard there.
Yeah.
He said Maine.
Maine. Yo, he be dropping some knowledge.
Yeah, that was
key.
This dope. That was dope.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think there's something else out there, right? Like if I look at just the wonderment of it all, right? Like, yo, like there's another planet, right? If you believe in the solar system, right? Like if you believe in the moon, then hopefully there has been some type of organism that has figured it out in whichever way it is. If it is just energy, right? They have some type of system that they've created via that energy, right? So I like to think that it's something else out there other than us, but I don't think about it often. But if you ask me a question about aliens, then yeah, I hope it is, right? Do I want them to mess with us? Nah, right? But do I hope so? Yeah.
To me, I just get like, I feel like the way the world's going is that we're going hard as fuck in the wrong direction. It works well enough. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I'm hoping that we can interact with a different being that could just move us to a completely different trajectory. You know how like everything's based off of physics, like the apple falling from a tree. You know, until they learned quantum physics and everything was kind of based off of that. I feel like the alien species kind of built more off of the quantum physics of like than this thing. And I think that if we can find a different way, then things could be different. But I feel like if not, then you're just gonna go into destruction. So that's why I probably have hope that there are like
I'm gonna keep it tall, yo. Mushrooms is aliens. I don't give a fuck.
Mushrooms is aliens?
Yo, mushrooms is aliens, bro.
Nah.
it's just like
Bruh.
Mushrooms, aliens.
Dog. Nah.
They probably the originals here, bro.
They something. It ain't.
We the alien.
Bro, if you did shrooms like shrooms and go outside, you'd be like,
what is mushroom? Like, what exactly type of organism is it again?
Well, it's
fungus, right. We're a type of fungus, right?
Yeah. We're a fungus?
Like, supposedly, yeah, that's how we
can't
categorize.
live without a bacteria. You know what I mean?
We're a fungus, so we have fungi.
I mean, I look at Earth as a petri dish, and I think that we just an
incubation. Is it flat?
Flat? I don't know. It depends. But I just feel like what was grown here was through the way that fungus would grow in a petri dish because of the sun, the atmosphere, is kind of
all the elements.
Exactly. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. But like to you, my whole take is different, bro, about the aliens. I mean, I already told you I don't care. Yeah. I stopped caring.
I stopped caring because you started caring too much.
Yeah, exactly. I thought about it so much. I'm like, man, this, man. So I think my take comes from what I have an innate bias. I think I understand myself a little bit. I'm starting to reject things I'm seeing quite often, and I question everything down to the damn middle school, whatever. And it's like, I think we're as a species, we're on a trajectory. We discovered it, and at some point, we were obstructed and made a different turn. And that turn in that direction is where we're going now.
Okay, I do.
I don't know. So for instance, let's say the Western culture. A lot of it's based on lies. A lot of it's based on things that, to make money or whatever the case may be. But a certain culture needs things a certain way in order to survive. So they're moving everyone else into that
trajectory. Instead of just falling by themselves. It's like, I'm taking you with me. I'm jumping up a building, I'm taking you with me in a sense. Like, that makes sense.
This is something I told you about, but he talked about, but it's a psychology behind a certain group of people where they feel like they can't survive under the sun unless they do more.
Let's have this conversation.
Like, do more than everyone else. Right? And I'm not going to bring it to the whole race thing, but there's people here who don't really need a whole lot to survive. So they don't change much. Over centuries and thousands of years, they still remain the same because they were in harmony with the environment. A certain group of people are never harmonious with the environment. They got to keep changing shit.
Whatever works.
Or they got to keep changing stuff. And they're the ones who go invade places and force people to do things they typically don't do. So this is what I'm saying. I think there's the point where the natural evolution, I speculate, if you go more in the harmonious route into the nature route, there's a point where you don't actually, the mushrooms, the fungi, you see that other side that isn't actually a physical form. You become more spiritual energy.
You're more connected.
Intelligent energy. That is an evolution path that's different, that's freeing, versus the AI robot grade,
Yeah.
that route. You see what I'm saying? Because there's a certain psychology that's pushing you this way, where the other psychology is pushing. They used to be that way. That's where I'm at with it.
But like so much stuff comes with those. It's the blue and the red pill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like if you take your route, that's a way lonelier route, right? Because everybody else is like, yo, I'm gonna go to it's the path of destruction, but it's capitalism, working, the AI robot, right? Whereas if you go towards enlightenment and you are taking shrooms and you're open up your mind, open to spirituality, open up to nature, not too many people are going to do that, right? So it takes a very strong person to go down that cynic route, question everything, don't believe what's fed to you, right? Open up yourself to the world versus just saying, you know what, I'm a clock in, clock out, you know what, do the same thing. Because and all my friends going to be here too.
Because I think the natural route is more human nature to investigate, to experiment. You know what I'm saying? To try, like, if you just put a kid out, a kid's gonna jump off the couch, kid gonna try to touch fire, a kid gonna jump in the puddle, a kid don't, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like there's no boundaries, and that's how they learn. But through the programming and the other fork in the road, it's like, no, don't do that, because if you don't do that, this is gonna happen. It's very fear-based. So people never even get to test the waters or the boundaries of their own psyche and their own environment, and they're scared to because they think it comes with consequences. So I understand what you're saying, and it definitely makes sense.
And it also goes to like the college thing, right? Like you're a kid, right? Like, oh, I got this idea for this great business, right? Let me explore it on my own, fail on my own. You go to college, they're like, nah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Right? Go to use your brain to go work for a corporation and make them rich. Whereas you've taken that red pill and you've shut down your mind and you can't expand. Whereas if you would have went this way, who knows? The possibilities are endless, right?
You probably like denying your life's work. Like you have a purpose, like, and you probably denying your purpose, the shit that's sparking you, the thing that's keeping you alive. You're like, yeah, I'm doing that in order to survive for my day-to-day bills or whatever the case may be. And that's why people feel unfulfilled and, you know what I'm saying, be sick and shit.
Because it's also, I feel like we value education more than we're supposed to, I think.
But it's like education.
Yeah, exactly. I know Dr. Claude Anderson, right?
Yeah.
I've been heading back into powernomics.
Powernomics.
You know what I mean? He talks about how you build the communities. First you have the community, then you start the businesses, then the businesses fund the politician, then the politicians fund the media, then the media politicians fund the courts fund, use the media to like impact the court of public opinion, and then education's right. You know what I mean? But like the first thing that we need is to actually give some money. But we think, get your education, go work till you're 26. We treat everything like being adopted. You know what I mean? Opposed to like you be a plumber, go figure out how to fix it. You know what I mean?
You think that's a cultural thing? Because for instance, like you go to other places, they got education isn't that expensive, but it's prevalent everywhere.
I think it's the carrot that was dangled in front of us in a sense.
I think it's also a cultural thing, bro. Because if you look at W.E.B. Du Bois, the Talented 10, right? Like, hey, and then on the other side, you have Booker T. Washington. Like, yo, W.E.B. Du Bois said, let's take all the money and funnel it into our most talented brothers and sisters, and they are going to be the ones that lift up our community. Yeah. Whereas Booker T. Washington was like, no, we all could uplift us if we learn skills, get money, create a community. But as a culture, with the rise of Martin Luther King and the Black Enlightenment movement, we all went to W.E.B. Du Bois and the Talented 10 versus getting the money. So I do think it's a cultural thing that stemmed from that. Granted, it's not 100%, but I do see the foundation.
It's kind of why I say Martin Luther King got killed, because he started talking about economic empowerment opposed to just integration in a sense. You know what I mean? So like the path that they marketed the I Have a Dream speech and all this of who Martin Luther King was to push their agenda in a sense. But reality, look at the Nation of Islam. They can help people. They can do all these things because they make money. They have a whole economy already. So they can have a rehabilitation center. You know, they can have this militancy. They have this strength that they're used to be able to be represented in the world in a sense.
Yeah, but you can't look at that, bro. They don't want you to look at that. I mean, that's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? You got to be afraid of that. So what they want to do is for you to focus on what they want you to focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Be the pacifist that doesn't really fight back and marches, and then take whatever we give you.
Exactly.
And
that's better. What's better than this? And leaves us begging. Because
that leaves you begging.
I was listening to Claude Anderson on the Breakfast Club. He was talking about like during the bus strike and shit like that. There was black buses that was running through the city, and everybody was going on white buses. Then once they integrated the buses, now they have black towns. Instead of like fixing the schools in the black town, they want to go integrate the white town.
And
they're marching for that.
The crazy thing I heard too about that is the whole MLK joint when they was doing the bus boycott. There were like some pastors and stuff or like prominent businessmen like, yo, we can get our own buses. You feel me? Like I can fund it. We'll give you the money to fund our own buses. They're like, nah, we don't want that because they was trying to push an agenda, and it was the integration agenda. That's why a lot of people like that's so-called heroes, bro. I look at it with a grain of salt because a lot of people were put in particular positions in order to push an agenda, and it's hard for me to accept some of those heroes. You know what I'm saying? That are heralded
for what they're
because the real heroes that represent probably my psyche and the things that I represent, the people that I love and stuff like that, are people that are ridiculed. You know what I'm saying? Real heroes to me aren't going to be accepted by mainstream media. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like Muhammad Ali wasn't accepted until he got the shakes. You know what I'm saying? He was public enemy number one. They threw him in jail for not wanting to go to war. You know what I'm saying?
But it wasn't celebrate him when he's weaker.
When he's weaker, can't talk. He had the biggest mouthpiece ever. Probably the first rapper. He's probably the first rapper. But now because he can't talk, he's shaking. Now he's a hero.
Break him around everywhere.
Exactly. You master.
So that's why you need to control the media. But control your own media.
You gotta not listen to the media though. In a certain sense.
That's hard.
The mainstream media, I should say.
That's hard. Well, now it's easier because you got social media. You can create your own media channels. That's probably why they're losing power. You know what I'm saying?
You need to serve.
But that's why they make it AI bots. Now, like you see, they're saying that they're just gonna make AI.
Watch AI. Yeah, they're gonna.
No, they've been doing that.
No, but they're like pushing it. Like when you go out into the world and tell the world that's how you know it's already too late. It's over. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just the influence. What they did for Donald Trump's first election was the dude Steve Bannon. I can't remember. But essentially, he found demographics on Facebook that were undecided and then pumping them with hella anti-Hillary, pro-Trump shit. So all the numbers swung in Trump like favor, like this type shit. So he won the election because all these people that were on the fence seen Trump as the one that they wanted to go and vote for in a sense, So it's, I think that's what's going to be everything that's going on. That's why literally it's all Wizard of Oz, smoke and mirrors. Like there's really nothing going on.
Is that AI or is that just going after an untapped market?
I think that we started in a world where only certain people could have propaganda and push it. Now we just in the point where literally everybody could push their own message. So literally this is all of nothing. It's just a bunch. It's everybody can speak and nobody's saying anything.
Listen, it's like back up to what you said. You're only susceptible when there's a need. Most times I'm not listening to that shit.
Yeah.
But when you broken you down, I'm like, yo, who got the right formula for this? And that's when they catch me. So
fucking crypto.
Yeah, like that's so the whole Trump thing. Okay, a lot of that is they pumped all this stuff on Facebook, but if people were content, they wouldn't gravitate to it.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah, but I think it was just the ability to just make a false motion in a sense and get these people thinking that it's a thing because of fake profile. Posted it.
Niggas argue with fake bots every day though.
No, I know. I know.
It's 85% of X is bots.
I'm saying when that happened, that was the first time that was actually a thing. After that, it was up. Yeah, after that, it was up. Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
After that, everybody seen the play and it's up.
Man, that's not no different than a commercial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just another side.
I think it's more personalized.
It makes it feel like it's realer, for sure.
It's just like they personalize the message to you. Because I could go on your whole profile. You gave me your whole life. So let me go and use this to give you the best message.
It's crazy, too. It's about to get uglier because this AI, like visual
it's
AI.
Crazy, bro.
I've been using that shit. That shit hard. Crazy. It's hard. It's crazy, though. It's hard. You're going to think like a joint is really talking to you.
Yeah.
Nah.
Have y'all heard about AI Jesus? Peep this, right? So in some European country, they have one of those LCD screens, right? And there's a white Jesus, AI white Jesus, that can you can go do confession, and that Jesus can give you answers based on what the Bible is. So they've uploaded the Bible as code, and now that AI responds with the foundations of the Bible. Cool. However, say I'm a priest and I want to tweak some stuff, right? And I want to start, programming my people to kind of think the way I think even more, because they have this person that they see on the walls all the time as Jesus telling them this, right? Like the influence of AI is getting crazy, bro. And once it gets into religion, right? Like take that from a fanatic standpoint, it could be very impactful, bro.
Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? Transhumanism is a religion.
Mhm.
Transhumanism, that's a part of it.
That was that's the real trans.
That's the joint. That's why back to the whole aliens thing. The evolution, that's a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
In the West, the psychological fixation on a religion and certain characters, that's the tap market. You gotta control that somehow, because those people who believe in, have a sense of godliness and all that stuff, there's still a moral foundation in them.
Yeah.
You got to break that down somehow, you know? And I think AI is part of it.
Yeah, the crazy shit to me too now is you know how like on your phone you get fed like advertising. Maybe we might have a conversation about Nissan Ultimate or something, and then you might see on your phone like ads for Nissan Ultimate.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever noticed like y'all been on your phone, y'all had a thought?
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, you had a thought, and
it's
on your phone now.
Yo, that's
like
happening way too much,
bro. That shit is crazy. And the thing now is, like, say for instance, right? You're a person. You're like, yo, I just need a sign to do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? They pulling out your thought waves and your thought patterns out of whatever. You know what I'm saying? The frequency or whatever.
You think so?
No, for sure. They're doing that.
You seen that they said they have a technology to turn everybody's phone into like an infrared thing. So now you could get like the optics of what's going on in each room from like an infrared
crazy
and shit.
Yeah.
Like right now, like all our cell phones is like kind of transmitting them, being able to actually see us sit here and like.
Man,
that's some shit.
But they really, real shit. They got shit that they could recreate how your brain processes some shit. So like you could be thinking about something, and you like, I just need a sign in your head, and you get the sign, but it's because it was pushed to you via advertising. You'd be like, oh damn, this was God. This was God. It's a sign. Like this shit getting loopy, bro.
Was it Whole Foods that's trying to put a chip in your hand to pay? So you could just scan out or something like that?
Putting a chip in your hand to pay for Whole Foods is crazy.
Right? Like, yeah, like it's crazy, bro.
But there's gonna be people who do it.
They got the social chip in China, don't they? Or the social credit joint.
I think they use their phones. I don't know about that.
No, I'm talking about the social credit. If you like in a certain status, you can't do certain shit. Like they like lock you off.
I don't know about all that.
That was a conspiracy. That's me.
There's a lot of shit.
Yo, History of the Future podcast. You throw shit out there. I don't know this, bro.
There's a lot of BS down there because it's propaganda. You know, like you know. I don't necessarily believe that, bro. To be honest with you.
Social credit system, or like, yo, I mean, you owe us some shit if you can't get on the public bus.
That seems crazy. But I mean, I don't know. Based on what that is, that seems crazy. However, I'm sure there's some kind of facets that you could probably see it, but I don't believe the narrative that's pushed about it. Is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
I'll just do it up there.
Which I think of Northern. Like putting the chicken. Nah. I think that's gonna be the actual point in where everything like ships off. But like, are you gonna go the spiritual route, or are you gonna go this like destructive route? Because like I think at a certain point there's gonna be like you know how you gotta have a cell phone. Like, everybody gonna have to have a chip, or you're not gonna have a chip.
Bro, I just want. We gotta establish when to stop this shit, bro. Like just pump the brakes, man.
After I've seen COVID, bro, and how crazy the world was, I think it's just over, bro. The world was stark raving mad, bro.
But I think we're all preparing ourselves for it, bro. Right? Like
raving mad. I'm
getting the fuck out of here. I don't know about y'all.
It's coming to Panama.
Power flex. They shut the world fire right
Yo,
now. I mean, like whoever did it, like you see that everybody saying, listen.
I've never seen nothing like that in my life. I've never seen so many people turn on each other. My mom would not let me in the house. I didn't have a mask on. When I was in the house, I had to have a mask on. I had to sleep with a mask on. Like, Mom, I'm not doing that, yo.
You was a CT at the time?
I went to CT for a period.
Oh,
okay. You know what I'm saying? They're like, don't come in the house. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Yo. It's like some Brave New World.
Yeah, bro.
Aldous Huxley type shit. Like, bruh. And just to come back to have this conversation now, it's crazy.
Chill out.
But Atlanta, I came to Atlanta. They ain't give a fuck about it.
That's
what I'm saying. It's different. It's a little different. Houston, they ain't give a fuck. I went to both places. Yo, all the places was lit.
The cops in Florida were saying, actually, if you have a mask on when I pull you over, take it off. I want to see your face.
True.
You coming into the police station, take your mask off. I'm trying to see your face.
I see. Okay, so that's a different. I guess. Yeah. I guess that's the real.
And it was just like little spots in there. It wasn't like the vast majority was shut down. That was the crazy part. Like the entire world. That what was scary. Is that the agenda, whoever that could know that they have those powers around them.
It went
to really make everybody sit in the house all day.
That shit over.
Bruh, like how you get everybody to do one thing?
And folks ain't doing it again.
No, exactly. That's it's like that was the last chamber.
No, if you could do it once, you could do it again.
Okay,
bro.
I see that. I see what you mean. That was their final like.
That's why they did it. Because they knew they was like time was up.
This was it. Like
it was them and then.
So you don't think it can happen again?
I think
maybe not in that capacity, but it'll be something else.
No, we're decentralized. Everything's decentralized. First is the war. The war right now is about energy.
Mm-hmm.
Energy, economics, like we're 30, 40, almost damn 40 trillion in debt. That shit is gonna get called eventually. Like everything's decentralized. As far as and that's why you got the BRICS thing, new hubs of economic activity.
I thought that shit was centralizing.
No, it's decentralized.
I don't know, bro. China everywhere. Russia everywhere.
So what China's doing is creating infrastructure for other people to come up.
But that's too centralized.
Where's the where? Okay, where's
that's what I'm saying.
But where is it centralized? You saying it's centralized in China?
Possibly, yeah, or whatever whatever that conglomerate is. Because
what's the conglomerate?
Huh?
Because
China, Russia,
BRICS.
Yeah,
the BRICS thing.
Yeah.
So that's like 20. I think like 20. Well, they got like 20 different countries at this point, but there's something like 100 different countries that want to join.
I get it, but there's a hierarchy to that situation. You feel me? Like China has gone to different lanes, set up shop, built roads, built ports, built railroad stations, and then in exchange, you feel me? These places are gonna be indebted in a certain capacity.
Yeah, that's how they're setting up bad loans. So they got a default, and now
it's just I mean, it's good, but
that's only one force, though. You know what I mean? That China is centralizing, but I think the world, BRICS coming, it's giving you options opposed to like saying, all right, we're only going that way in a sense, Like now you're gonna have the dollar, you have the crypto, you're gonna have the BRICS, you're gonna have the different worlds that you can go and choose from, opposed to it being just one thing. You better choose that one thing, just like how it's been. That's how the dollar's been. The dollar's been centralized.
So I'll bring this up, and like you continue. There's a mindset I found it in the West of hegemony. So basically, one culture, one mindset controlling everyone. And because that exists in the West, when they see other people attempting to do something, they think that's what they're doing, but it's projection. They're saying that's what I would do if I was in that position.
I would try to take y'all down and beat it up.
Exactly. However, people from other cultures don't necessarily think like that. That's what I'm seeing. And that's why I say like certain other, maybe the BRICS thing or whatever, I can see how you can mutually benefit. I can see how, hey, I have nothing now, but if you give me money now, and if I can grow, if I can, build these streets and these facilities, and I can, improve my people's well-being, I would have the money to pay you. You see what I'm saying? That's a mutual benefit.
I feel it. I just gotta see it. I just gotta see it because
I be thinking at that scale, at that level, bro, it's just agendas. You feel me? It's not the mutual common good of mankind. I don't be like somebody would have to show me like the case study where that was the case. Cause I might be jaded or some shit. But I just want to see it. But I mean it's good to see that there's other options, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like you could play another hand if you want to. Like I fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Just see how this shit play out. But
I didn't know
I'm curious to see that.
there was 100 folks trying to get into bricks.
I mean,
I
it
didn't
was
know
like
because I know they just had a conference. I know it was a big turnout. I didn't know they would, even with what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. I didn't know they were still pulling that much
I think
weight.
another thing also with BRICS is that America goes around. That's not what the private equity does. They go around, use their resources to go around and claim all the spots that they need, and then they want to have in their asset, class,
In the
portfolio to deal with. Like, and there's another argument that's saying BRICS is the leftovers. In a sense, all the land and all the opportunities that America didn't fuck with, in a sense. You know what I mean? Because like, if that's the case, they would have took American money.
Yeah.
So they're getting money from China. They're getting money from different spaces to like build their infrastructure because America doesn't see that as a investment that's going to bring back money, in a sense.
And I think that was our mistake from when we were creating things in America, right? Like when we became such an economical powerhouse, when NATO became big, America was the center of the earth, right? But now, man, like China's building everything. India has so many people, so many smart people, also so many people that are struggling, right? Like Brazil's economy is getting better, right? Granted, their presidential election didn't go the way everybody wanted it to, but like these countries that you say are leftovers are not really becoming leftovers anymore, bro. Like
that's
they're
why
really bulking up.
And that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
I can see that there is a place for both.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want your investment anyway. You build it up, more power to you. I might not build this with you later. You might catch a McDonald's in your town or stuff like that. But since they would look at, that doesn't work in my portfolio, you have a whole different world that's being built because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of these places too are starting to become more aware that they have a lot of resources as well.
All the resources.
That's the thing too. It's like, damn, you seeing all these African countries kicking France the fuck out of their countries and shit like that.
Yep.
And it's like, bro, like we have the resources. You know what I'm saying?
France
like,
need them. It's not the other way around.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's the Western imperialism mindset. Like we got to go and take over and bleed people out and be vampires.
Bro, y'all seen something incredible in our lifetime, bro. Like it's the end of that whole. I don't know. It's bittersweet because there's some great things that came out of the West, but it's a lot of chaos and negativity as well. But the end of that whole Western period of domination, like you're seeing it, like you're living it, like your ancestors never would seen this shit. This is crazy. Like we're living at this time, bro.
Yeah, and it's a slow fall.
It's very, you're seeing that. Like
it's not like something like overnight. It's like what the fuck? It's like step by step, year after year,
bro. And the crazy thing is not us.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard when people be like, yo, we did this. So the Americans, I'm like, nigga, no, we didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is the person pushing the button? I don't know.
Some nigga with an agenda.
That's
an American. It's not even the government.
Who is it though?
Some nigga.
Yeah.
That's what
you know what I mean?
That might not even be
it's a combination.
It might even be the mass of people. You feel me? It's not.
No,
it's not the mass of people. When they be like, yo, USA X.
Yeah.
It's not a mass of people that they're referring to.
Specific people that they
it's specific, exactly, but they wear the banner and it looks like it's us. I don't care about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we chilling. Like that's why it's super interesting because like the Western idealism that you're talking about, like the Western enlightenment that we had to learn about in school, Western and all this, it ain't us. You know what I'm saying? It's not. So that's why it's like it's super interesting to hear about it because it's like. We got to kind of wear a jersey that on a team we don't really play for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they own the rights to our jersey and our field, but we're not even playing that game.
Bro, when I moved over there,
you got to take the hits.
I didn't realize I was an American until I moved over there, right? Because I'm black, right? Like, but when you over there and they like, how y'all vote Trump in? I was like, what you mean? Y'all, America, what are y'all doing? I was like, not me. I didn't vote for Buddy, right? Like,
You gotta wear that.
Yeah, you like you said, like you gotta wear. You gotta answer the questions, bro. Yeah, what happened with George Floyd? It's been happening for a while, right? Like it's been deteriorating, and it's gonna happen a lot more with the next 4 years, and it's gonna be quick, bro. Like I think people aren't seeing the American dream. Like the people that want to come to America don't want to come like they used to no more, right? Like it used to be folks saying, "Yo, America is the land of opportunity." Nah, it's not.
I want to go to New York.
Exactly.
Don't go to New York no more.
Exactly.
L.A. Did it? You like, oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
Vegas,
bro.
what's the attraction? The attractions ain't really attractive no more.
Because they're replicating America everywhere.
Yep. You can make a movie in your hood. Yeah.
You go to Dubai and get some American ass shit up.
See, all the things that made America the place to be or whatever.
It's over. Everybody got film now. Everybody got their own Hollywood.
Yep.
It don't matter no more, bro.
Yeah.
I'd rather go somewhere that don't got none of that shit, and I could chill, lay back, eat natural food.
That's what I want. That's
Panama.
People chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Panama,
Yeah.
Colombia, something with an I.
Here's
St. Lucia, Jamaica.
Here's why I'm saying like it's the end, because there's no going back. You got two things playing like when you say who's pushing a button. There's two forces playing part in this big ass change. One of them is complacency. Here, the elites or the people at the top bracket. It's like with anything, when you live and you need something, and you have less, you'll become creative.
Lack creates.
Creates potential and an ability. When you don't lack, you are complacent. You just
get fat.
You get fat and silly and lazy and greedy. Well, the parts of the world where they hungry and starving,
they creative as fuck.
That's
like the H-1B visa thing with the whole Trump administration.
Yeah,
they're mad that like all the CEOs of the companies are Indian men. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, these people are coming in, they hungry as fuck. There's 1 billion of them in India. There's not enough work to go around. They coming over here doing an amazing job. They're like them. They're white people are saying that they're dealing with racism now because now they're not getting hired in those positions.
I've seen a kid in one of them countries in Africa, bro. He made a nuclear reactor.
Made a nuclear reactor?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what? You feel me? Like, it was just some wild, like, he was.
But I think what you said was like important about what the Western culture wants to just dominate. Like if a hammer, pretty much everything's a nail. So like, I think that the opportunity now is in the fact that people don't want to do that, and now there's places where they don't even want to fuck with you. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, I got this time and this ability to go build out a real community, really live the way we want to do, opposed to live in this Western civilization system, in a sense,
I feel like people fuck with us just on a strength, right? Like, what you saying?
No.
Well, not like, because we were the hammer for so long that we still got that rep, right? Like, after a while, we're going to lose our street cred, right? And folks going to be like, y'all don't got nothing.
The only shit flea about us is the entertainment and athletics. That's it.
Yeah,
and that's why, because it's dominated by the original people that are from here. And that's why, bro.
You know what's funny? I haven't been in a whole lot of places, mostly Latin America. But I've worked with people from different places, and the way they look at white Americans is not the same the way they look at black Americans. Because there's a lot of built-in resentment for them folks.
They got imperialized.
You feel me? So I would say the change is coming. Isn't really that hard. It's not going to be that hard for us. Now, I think the potential is there. You know what I'm saying? So,
I could see that. Like,
And
even. I was going to say, even like dudes like, you know what I'm saying? Like Putin. Like, he was like giving game on certain shit too. Like, and he's making he's diversifying like the narrative of what people commonly accept. And he's like a world superpower. What have you?
He say Jesus was black?
He's showing artwork from the time, like that show, like
Mother Mary, like
all that, and then say the people of America, like the original people of America, are XYZ versus was being,
bro. There's some animation. You know, there was a period of time where we had like black exploitation animation and all that stuff.
Stephen Fetchit.
Yeah, you know how bad they made black folks look.
Big lip,
At
black.
the same time, they were doing that in the West. There was animation about black folks in the Soviet Union, and it's completely different.
Interesting.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you gotta send that to me. I want to put that. I want to put it on the back of this episode.
Get some translation. That's cool.
And you know what's crazy? You been to Asia?
No.
Okay, you been to Asia?
Japan.
Been Asian?
Nah.
Okay. So I've been to Japan and I've been to Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, when I went to Thailand, bro, they was treating me like, bruh, like, yo, I swear to God, I stepped foot in Thailand. I went to one of the temples there in Bangkok. Pause. But I went to one of the temples, and then there's this Asian family. They looking at me like take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I'm like, all right, I'll take a picture for you and your family. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm grabbing it was a language barrier. It was like, no, with you.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, like I got to a point where I'm like trying to process. I'm like, yo, damn, is this right? Is this wrong? Like, is this awkward? Like, am I like a sideshow?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, fuck it, whatever. I took a picture with like 15 people like this. You feel me? Like, I'm like this, spread arms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, this is crazy. And then just maneuvering through, walking through the city. Then you went on to Phuket. Woman, oh my gosh, look at your hair. Trying to grab your hair. Fuck it. Like, grab your shit, grab your beard, like your skin. Like, I'm like, yo, what is going on? But I didn't know how to take it. Even when I was with my shorty at the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? They fascinated by her braids and stuff too. But it's just so crazy. Like, just the
natural celebrity of a black person.
Yeah, just the perspective, bro. Like, on this side, you just, we recognize each other. But over there, they see you. You know what I'm saying? It's a different, like, we don't get to see you like that. Like, you're real. It's like alien, like we're aliens type shit.
But then also, you made it here, right? Like, I think when folks see us around the world, they know that we made it to that spot. Whereas when you see other cultures, maybe like, hey, your mom, hey, your dad, like, can you pay for me to go to Europe? Can you pay for me to go to Thailand? Right? Like, when folks see black folks, they know that we not about to be on no Karen
We're not
shit.
trying to imperialize.
Exactly. We here to see a beautiful culture, bro. I hustle my ass off to get here, and I'm spending my money in your spot. I'm not about to just go fuck off and get drunk and be in the streets tripping. Right? So it's a respect for us, I think, when we go as well, but also admiration because they haven't seen us in person.
And curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, shit. We've been running for a little while. You know what I'm saying? It's been like 2 hours.
Say word.
It's been like two. It's been a great conversation, man. Anybody got any parting words? Anything where can they follow you at? What you got coming up? What can people get excited about? It don't even matter, bro. Whatever. Like, can they support like youth football league?
I'm about to have the Pop Warner back in Jersey popping and shit. So there'll be more information coming soon about it. But yeah, we about to turn it up to football.
Dope. Okay.
What's good? Yeah, nothing personally, but if you're in Atlanta and curious about urban planning, check out the Plan A. They have meetings every month, and it surrounds transportation, zoning, right? So as Atlanta's being gentrified, right? Like, if you want to get involved, have a voice, or even just be up in the know, check out Plan A. Very, very useful, very knowledgeable. Get involved.
Dope. Lawrence, what's up?
Yeah, I don't have anything personal, bro. I'm glad to be here. Made it another year in 2025.
Yeah,
bless up.
Great things. This is a hell of a start. January 1st, like, look at this conversation we just had.
Yeah.
All the information and things we just shared on the 1st of January of the new year. That's a powerful thing, bro. So yeah, I'm just thankful to be here and excited for the new year.
Word. Can I share the link to your book? Would it be advantageous or not?
Not at the moment, but
Okay.
I'll give you the information after.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody showing up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all the homies. Y'all welcome anytime. I'm gonna need guests all the time. You feel me? Because I can't talk to myself. It's mad boring. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are super insightful. And I just want y'all to hold me accountable because, like, yo, I've done stuff. I'll put it down, pick it up, put it down, pick it up, put it down. So this is a project that I really want to continue to do on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? So, if y'all see me like, yo, what's going on with the joint? You know what I mean? It's gonna keep me in line. Also, a couple different things. Uh, in addition to the podcast, there are going to be some other things that are going on. You have, Shut Up and Vibe DJ sessions. We did that, quite a few sessions last year. Shout out to the homie Double Lens Namdi. He moved to Dallas. Some of the other homies, J Boy, A Cuts. East did an episode before. So we're gonna keep that going. I'm gonna have some sessions with me doing some music production. I'm gonna put that kind of stuff out and just weekly check-ins with some of the homies too via Zoom or StreamYard or what have you. That's gonna be coming up. And so it's gonna be action packed, just nonstop content. Why not just make a whole library? I think my network and the people I'm around, the things I do, is super interesting. So I'm gonna keep the people filled in with that. So be on the lookout. If you haven't, subscribe to all the socials. It'll be at the bottom of this episode. Go to 80piece.com. Go to 80piece.store for merch that's coming and stuff like that. Appreciate you guys.
Bless.
All right. Yeah.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
History of the future.